The bridge theory. Most people walk through life believing the bridge will always be there. They believe support will always come. They believe someone will always sacrifice. They believe the ground beneath their feet is permanent, but life doesn't work like that. The bridge theory says this: at some point in your life, you will realize that you've been walking on bridges built by other people. Parents, friends, mentors, strangers, even people who never owed you anything. When you were young, you didn't notice it. You just walked. You stepped forward without thinking. Someone else absorbed the pressure. Someone else carried the weight. That's why early life feels easy. Not because life is easy, but because someone else is holding you up. The problem is, most people never stop to look down. They don't ask, who is supporting me? Who am I standing on? Who is sacrificing so I can move forward? They keep walking, and one day, the bridge collapses. Not because people are wicked, not because the world is cruel, but because no human being was meant to be a permanent bridge. The bridge theory teaches a hard truth. People get tired. Even good people. Even loving people. Even loyal people. A bridge made of flesh will eventually crack, and when it does, many people panic. They say, why did they change? Why did they stop helping me? Why did they abandon me? But the real question is, why didn't you learn to build your own bridge? Life has stages. In the first stage, you are carried. In the second stage, you are supported. In the third stage, you are expected to stand. Most people fail in the third stage because they are addicted to the first. They confuse help with entitlement. They confuse kindness with obligation. They confuse love with lifelong sacrifice. The bridge theory says this clearly: no one is meant to lie down forever so you can keep walking. At some point, you must stop and ask yourself, what weight am I putting on others? Am I growing or am I just leaning? Am I building or am I depending? This lesson is painful, but it is powerful, because the day you realize this is the day you mature. Maturity is not age. Maturity is awareness. Awareness that your parents won't always be there. Awareness that friends will choose their own lives. Awareness that mentors will move on. Awareness that sympathy has limits. The strongest people are not those who had the most support. They are those who learned when to stop leaning. Here's another truth most people learn too late. If you never become a bridge for yourself, you will always fear abandonment. Why? Because your survival depends on others staying flat. That fear makes people manipulative. It makes people angry. It makes people resentful. They don't love people for who they are. They love people for what they provide. The bridge theory exposes this quietly. Ask yourself honestly, if everyone stepped away today, would I still stand? If the answer is no, don't be ashamed, be awakened. Because this realization is not meant to break you, it's meant to wake you up. The goal of life is not to walk on people. The goal of life is to build your own path and then help others cross safely. There is a difference between using a bridge and becoming a burden. Wise people learn early to carry their own weight. Self-respecting people learn to struggle without blaming. Strong people learn to appreciate help, but never depend on it. And here's the most beautiful part of the bridge theory. The moment you stop relying blindly on others, you start discovering strength you never knew you had. You become disciplined. You become responsible. You become intentional. You stop waiting for rescue. You stop demanding sacrifice. You stop blaming people for choosing themselves. You grow. One day you'll look back and understand. The bridges that collapsed were not betrayals. They were lessons. They taught you balance. They taught you gratitude. They taught you independence. And maybe, just maybe, they taught you how to become a bridge for others without destroying yourself. Because real strength is this: helping without bleeding, supporting without disappearing, giving without losing yourself. So if you're young, learn this now. Don't wait until life forces it on you. Thank the bridges that helped you cross, but don't demand they stay forever. Build your own foundation. Carry your own weight. Grow strong enough to stand alone. Because the goal of life is not to be carried. The goal is to walk with strength, balance, and purpose. That is the bridge theory.